Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd, as well as my friends at yarnspirations.com. For Crochet Cruisers, we're going to be converting this hat into a captain's hat for high tea. I'm going to be showing you how to make this hat. With this particular hat, you'll also need some stiff plastic, and once we get the brim done, we're going to insert the plastic inside the brim and then secure it shut. And so I will be using white, black, and then gold. And yes, I will be using black on camera. I know I'm stupid. So 5mm size H crochet hook today, and we're gonna just be using some spare yarn to be able to mark the edges. We're gonna go in a continuous circle so that we don't end up with any slip stitching throughout the top of the hat. Let's begin. Let's begin by creating a slip knot. Insert your hook and chain 2. Ta-da! Let's begin round number 1. Round number 1, you're going to go second chain from the hook, and you are going to insert 6 single crochets into that stitch, or into that chain. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once you have the 6th one done, grab a spare piece of yarn or a stitch marker and insert it into the top of that last stitch so that you can keep an eye on it. We're not going to do any slip stitching so you don't see it. Okay, so we're going to go in a continuous round. And if you went over top of the straggler, you can just cut that safely out. And then we'll begin round number 2 in a moment. Round number 2, we're going to go 6 chain from the hook. So if you want to count it back, it's easier. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because we've not slip stitched yet, it's not always easy to tell, and even as an experienced crocheter, I do that as well. So in that one, you're going to apply 2 single crochets into the same stitch. It's always tight the first time. I know, here all day, folks. So you're going to apply 2 single crochets in each stitch all the way to that stitch marker, and every time we end up on the last stitch, we're going to move that stitch marker up. So going forward in this tutorial, I'm going to give you the repeat instructions. You're going to do it, you'll put me on pause, and you're always going to place the stitch marker onto the last stitch so that you can see it. And if you don't, good luck, Chuck. It's the only way to really tell. So in the last one here, we're just putting 2. So every time you're on the very last stitch, just move the stitch marker up. And I like just spare yarn because I never lose spare yarn. And I just pull through, and therefore I'll know where the stop and start is every time. Let's move on to round number 3 and let's start playing. So going forward, I'm going to give you the set of instruction for repeat, and then you're going to do it. So you're going to start, and you're going to, it says increase. Okay, so we're going to increase again. So we're going to put 2 single crochets in every one of the stitches all the way around. If you need the stitch count, please see the video description. There's a link to this free pattern. So put 2 single crochets into each and move that stitch marker up on the last stitch. I'll be right back. Round number 4. It says in the pattern, all even rounds until further notice are going to be 1 single crochet in each round, which includes this round. So number 4 is just 1 single crochet round. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take you through every one of the rounds, even if it's just a single crochet round, and we won't get confused. Single crochet round for round number 4. Round 5, you are going to put 2 single crochets into the first one, and then 1 into the next. And you're going to do that repeat all the way around. So 2 into the next, and 1 into the next one after that. Please repeat that sequence around for round number 5. Just as a word of caution, if the sequence doesn't line up to the very last stitch, it means that something is wrong and maybe you miscounted. So make sure you keep an eye on that. Round number 6 is just 1 single crochet round, and please do that. Round 7, we are going to put 2 into the first one, and then the next 2 are going to be by themselves. So we have 1 and 2, that's on its own. Okay, so the repeat is 2 into the next, and then the next 2 are by themselves. Please repeat that around for round number 7. Round number 8 is 1 single crochet all the way around. Please do that. I'll be right back. Round number 9, you're going to put 2 into the first one, and then the next 3 are by itself. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we're going to put 2 into the next, and 3 by itself. 1, 2, 3. Please complete that all the way around for round number 9. Round number 10, 1 single crochet in each stitch around. I'll be right back. Number 11, 2 into the first one, 1 and 2, and then the next 4 are by themselves. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the repeat is 2 into the next, and then 4 by itself. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Please do that around for round number 11. Round number 12, 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. I'll be right back. Round number 13, put 2 into the first one, and then the next 5 are by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the repeat is 2 into the next, and 5 by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then 2 into the next. Please do this around for round number 13. Round number 14 is 1 single crochet in each all the way around. I'll be right back. Round number 15 is our last increase, and so it'll be 2 into the first one, and then the next 6 are by themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so 2 into the next, and then the next 6 by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Please do this around for round number 15. Rounds number 16, 17, and 18 is just 1 single crochet round. Please do all 3 rounds and meet me back here for round number 19 next. Round number 19, I'm going to show you a decrease that's done in amigurumi so you don't end up with a decreased line. So the first 2 are going to be coming together as a single crochet 2 together. If you prefer the regular method, then do it. So what you need to do is that you need to go under and just grab the first loop only, and then just rotate the hook and grab the second loop only, the front loop. Yarn over, pull through, and then pull through 2. And this will do, and pull it 2 together, and it will not make a line in your work. For this round here, so we did 2 together, and then we're going to single crochet the next 6. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to do 2 together again. So we're just going up, grab the front loop only, rotate it, grab the next one, front loop only, yarn over, pull through, and pull through 2. And then the next 6 are by itself. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Please do this same concept around for round number 19. Rounds number 20, 21, and 22, so all 3 rounds are 1 single crochet each. Please do that, and I'll see you at the beginning of round number 23 in a moment. Round number 23. You're going to put the first 2 together. I'm still going to use the same technique that I prefer of the amigurumi single crochet 2 together, and then the next 5 are by itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So single crochet 2 together, and then the next 5 are by itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Please do this around for round number 23. Round number 24, we're going to change up the stitch a little bit, and we're just going to half double crochet in every stitch all the way around. I'll be right back. Round number 25, we have to be very careful in the sense of the way that we do it. So we're going to do a slip stitch around the fabric. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch through the center. Okay, so just going through and through. If you do a slip stitch too tight, slip stitching does not stretch. So you got to make sure that you're just kind of pulling up on a little bit to provide a little bit more slack, and you're going to slip stitch yourself all the way around for this round. And I'll be right back. Due to myself wanting to change the color for the visor, I'm going to cut. If you're not going to change the color, just leave it as is and continue on. So I'm going to pull up on the last one, and I'm going to do a little technique of being able to hide this a little bit better, especially if you're going to cut it. So if you're not cutting it, don't worry about it. So we're just going to just put this through a tapestry needle. And the best way to do it is that we're looking for the top of the slip stitching. Okay, this is the stitch, this is the slip. So I'm going to go through right here. And do you see where this one comes out? I know it's kind of hard to see on camera, but it's coming out right here, and I'm going to go into there. And when I pull it, I want to make it look like the same distance of the rest of the stitches. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it over and secure it to this side. Don't let this needle hit the good side of the work. If you want to tie it into a knot, if you feel more comfortable, please do so. It's also better if you split the plies, not just going in between strands, but actually split the plies itself, and therefore it's much harder for it to slide out. And once you have that done, you're good to go. So we're going to continue on to making the brim, and I'm going to add my new color black. So it's going to require really listening because it might be harder to see on camera, but I really do want it to be a captain's hat at the end of the day. So I'm going to move up my stitch marker to right where I want to be. And so I'm moving it up to the top 2 loops of the slip stitch. Okay, so the slip stitching created kind of a thicker border, just like you see. So let's continue on to making the brim, starting on row number 1, and let's continue. So let's begin. And if you're not cutting the yarn, just start single crocheting in the top 2 loops of the slip stitching. If you're adding new color like I am, we're going to put it onto the hook, yarn over, pull through, and do you see the 2 loops? Just pull through the 2, that's a standing single crochet. So using the slip stitch line, you're going to do 31. So this is considered 1, and just start counting them out as you go. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go all the way to 31, maybe back here in just a moment, noticing that I went over the straggler as well. Once you have 31, turn your work, and we're going to begin row number 2. Row number 2, we're going to chain 2, and we're going to skip the first 2, so 1 and 2, and start going into the 3rd, okay? And you just want to do 28 stitches in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and go all the way to 28. Once you get your 28 done, then you're just going to slip stitch in the very last one and turn your work and begin row number 3. Row number 3, chain 2 and skip the first 2 out. Okay, so we're going to just look where it is. So we have 1 and 2, and start the 3rd one and do 26. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go all the way to 26. Once 26 are in, slip stitch to the next and turn your work. And now let's begin number 4. Number 4, chain 2, and we're going to skip the first 2 out, so 1 and 2, and go into the next, and you're going to do the next 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go all the way to 24 and meet me back here in a moment. Once you're 24 in, slip stitch to the next, turn your work, and now let's move on to number 5. Number 5, chain 2, skip the first 2 out, 1 and 2, go to the third, and you're going to do the next 22 in a row. So 1, 2. Once you get your 22 in, slip stitch to the next, turn your work, and now let's begin number 6. Number 6, chain 2, skip the first 2 out, so 1 and 2, and we're going to do 20 single crochets in a row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go all the way to 20. Meet me back here in a moment. Once the 20 are in, slip stitch to the next, turn your work, and now let's begin row number 7. Row number 7, chain 2, skip the first 2 out, so 1 and 2, go to the third, and you're going to do 18 in a row. Please do that, and I'll see you at the end of that. Once the 18 are in, slip stitch to the next, turn your work, and now let's begin row number 8. Row number 8, chain 2, skip the first 2 out, and do the next 16 in a row. Meet me back here in a moment. 16 are in, just slip stitch to the next, turn your work, and let's do row number 9. Row number 9, chain 2, skip 2, and just do the next 14 in a row, and I'll meet you back at the end of the row in a moment. At the end of number 14, just slip stitch into the next, and then turn your work, and we're doing our last row, so we're just gonna do number 10. Number 10 is the final, just chain 2, skip 2, and you are going to do the next 12 in a row. So we have 1, 2, 3, and do 12, and I'll be right back. At the end of number 12, you're going to slip stitch into the last one, and then just trim your yarn and just pull through. So we need to create a second visor that the plastic insert will be hidden inside. So we need to orientate ourselves and get started for that next. So the second part of the visor is the same thing. So turn it back to where you had begun, and remember we had done to the right side, flip it forward, and you are going to use the tops of the half double crochet instead of the 2 loops of the single crochet or of the slip stitch. And what I need you to do, we do video chapters, and in video chapters what we have is rows number 1 through 10 once again in the brim, and you're just going to repeat exactly what you did here, and what you're going to have is then 2 lips of these done. So just reverse the video and redo now rows number 1 through 10 once again, and just start on this going across. And just attach your color if you would like to do so. And so it's just like you did before, really. So you can just put your color on and start on the very first one. And if you recall, when you go back, you're just going to do a standing single crochet to the same starting stitch as you did before. And then you're just going to do your 31 and repeat rows number 1 through 10. Do that, and I'll be right back. So here we have the 2 pieces, they're put together. And so I need to put this onto my head to get the right shape that I want. And then on a piece of paper, we're gonna draw this visor onto it, and then we're gonna then put that onto plastic. It's recommending plastic mesh canvas for putting inside. You don't wanna use cardboard because if it gets wet, then the cardboard will sog and game over, right? So I actually have a piece of plastic from a binder that has no paper inside, and so I'm going to use something like that in order to make that. So let me try this on, and we're going to trace it next. So I've tried it on. I have the round shape of the hat, and without doing too much damage to it as far as squishing it, just put out the visor so it's relatively the same shape onto the paper. I know it's hard to see from your angle. Okay, so what I want to do, and I've done one of these in the past, is that I'm going to want to make sure there's no hard edges on the plastic at all. So I'm just turning the paper, and then just using a pencil is best. Just trace this around. This will stretch a little bit, so okay, and then we're just going to come in coming around. Okay, so I'm just gonna lift up the top just to kind of see how deep this is gonna go. And then I'm just gonna put my pencil through it, and then I got it there. So now I'm going to just carefully, that's the absolute thickness of it. So I'm just gonna carefully just go. And I wanna have a round edge at the pieces here, because if it's sharp, then you'll feel it. Okay, so then we're just gonna go like this. Kind of round it off a little bit. So I'm going to cut this out, and then we're gonna put this onto plastic. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, and I'm just gonna trace it onto some plastic, and then I'm gonna cut this out. And before I put it inside the visor, I wanna kind of test it to make sure that the shape size is right. So I could provide people with a downloadable PDF on this, but everybody's tension is different. So it's better you do it the way that I just showed you. So now I have the design, and now I'm gonna cut that out. So let's put the visor in, and we're gonna go all the way around on this round, and we want to start pretty much the stitch before the visor begins. Okay, so we know where our stitch markers are, and we're gonna be using the tops of the half double crochet, so not the 2 loops of the slip stitch. I'm going to join it with a standing single crochet, and I'm going to show you a way to finish this off so it looks nice at the end too. So just single crochet there. So you're now going to jump. You can probably get rid of the stitch marker at this point, get that out, and go and start working on the brim. So just go up the sides of the brim, just evenly space your stitches out. So, and it's going through both layers of the brim. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about putting that plastic in until I get closer to it not falling out, right? So I just got to sandwich it in. So it's just resting on the inside. Any loose tails that you have from this moment, you can just tuck it inside of the visor. Should not pop out on you. And of course, you can always use a tapestry needle just in case that bothers you. So you don't hear me counting, I'm just equally spacing up the stitches going up the side. So on the sides, there's really no, it's kind of like one single crochet for every row, but sometimes you have to manipulate it a little bit. So once you get to the top here, just go right into the top of the regular stitches. Okay, so on top of the stitch, and I'm just going to do a few before I insert that piece in. Okay, so I'm going to insert that visor in, so just in the opening. And make sure it's the right way. Face. Okay, and just kind of squeeze it into position. Just help it move down. And so if it's not the right size, now's the time to kind of change it a little bit. And you can stretch it a little bit, the fabric a little bit. And so when I'm going over, I can just kind of pull it over top of that piece. Okay, and I'm going to continue to single crochet that into the inside. So I'm going to do this off camera because it's easier on my lap, and I will be back in just a moment. So just continue to single crochet to secure that to the interior of your visor. Okay, once you get past the visor, just on the tops of these half double crochet round, just continue to single crochet around with that same color. And I'll see you at the end of the round to show you another technique. So I'm coming around to the very last one. So what I want to do is that I want to attach it here without actually slip stitching so you don't see it. So what I'm going to do is just trim a longer strand and pull through. Grab a tapestry needle, and what you're going to do is secure that so it gets stuck. Okay, so just going in there and pull through. And I know it's hard to see, but it's black. But this is coming out of the center. Go back down through the center and towards the interior of the hat. And you're just gonna pull on that to bring it closed. See, and it looks perfect. So now you're gonna secure this to the interior of the hat. Do not let this yarn hit the exterior at all. Okay, so don't let that needle go to the outside. And I would get myself to the brim area because it's black and it's easier to hide that into black. And so I'm just going to continue dragging it through and getting it stuck underneath the stitch work. So now we're going to add some gold trim to this hat. You can try it on, shape your brim, and we'll be doing that next. So now we're going to add all the gooey little extra stuff that makes it fun, and we are going to start with the slip knot. And I need you to just to chain 43. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go all the way to 43. Meet me back here in just a moment. Now that 43 is done, we're going to go second chain from the hook. So 1 and 2, get the back hump and put in 3 single crochets there. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And I need you to continue on the back hump now. 1 chain equals 1 single crochet. And I'll see at the end of the chain where we're going to turn around and go back in the opposite direction. And so I'll see you there in a moment. So just continue to single crochet across. When you get to the end of the chain, the very last one will have 3 single crochets in it. Let this just turn upside down as you do that. So just coming around. And then start right here. Okay, and single crochet yourself back across. You can put the straggler down on top of it and get it stuck inside, and single crochet back to where you had started, and then we'll pick up there and we'll do one more step and we'll continue this in a moment. So just continue to single crochet across the bottom side of the chain. When you get to the stitch just before the 3 went in, you're now going to slip stitch yourself all the way around, and this will create a raised lip. So just a slip stitch all the way, and it's kind of a neat effect that it will do, and I will see you at the end of that. So go all the way around, slip stitching. So I've come all the way back around to where I started, and this is going to be underneath the button anyway, but I want to make sure I take good care of it because it is a visible area. Pull it out, and then we're going to put that tapestry needle on wherever I threw it last. And we're just going to do exactly the same technique I showed you before on the hat. Okay, so we're just going to go in between and then back out to where that comes out of. And then just favor the back of the strap because that won't be seen at all. Just get it to be secured in behind. Don't let that needle hit the other side of the work so you don't see where you're fastening it in. So we're going to be making 2 buttons next, and that'll be the final before just putting everything together for today's video. I'd recommend keeping a longer strap for the start so that you can use that to sew it to the hat. Okay, so just start your slip knot there, and you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and third chain from the hook, you're going to apply 8 half double crochet. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let the straggler just fall into the back and just slip stitch it to the top of there. And then once you have that done, so to the top third one, and then it says slip stitch in each of the half double crochets all the way around. So we're just going to start slipping all the way around to create that visual effect that you have in the strap as well. It creates a raised lip. So we're just going to go all the way around. If you cannot see where this is going in as far as like knowing when to stop, just put a stitch marker in where you started. It's just one round, so it should be easier to see. Okay, so this is creating a raised lip, and so we don't want to impact that of pulling it down once it's on the hat. So then just doing what you did before, just snip it, grab a tapestry needle, and finish it off nicely. So pull up, and then just drag this through. Just like you did before. Drag it through and then back down through where it comes out of. And then go to the back side of the button, and you can secure this strand into the back because you're going to use the other one to sew it to the hat. So what I want you to do is do another one of these buttons, and then we're going to get ready to then play and put it onto the hat next. Okay, good to go. So let's do another one. You'll do it off camera. I'll do it off camera. You do it next, and I'll be right back in a moment. Now that I have my 2 buttons going in, I want to take this strand and put it through there. Okay, and then just go through. So just go through where roughly you think it should go. Okay, and just let it drop. And then grab the other one and do the same thing on the other side. And what we want to do is lay this over top. So the band itself is not secured to the hat at all. It's just the buttons. Making sure that, you know, that beautiful area is facing up when you do this. Okay. So now I'm going to take my hat and let's just kind of position it and see where it's going to go. Try to do this real time on camera. So I'm going to just kind of position it over top here. So you just kind of look at the photograph and kind of see where it's going to go. And then just, you can use your needle and just to kind of pull it through to where you think it should go. Okay. So we think it's going to go there. And we're going to kind of just stretch it over. Let's see if I can get it to match to the other side, roughly in the same area. So let's put the needle back on. It's roughly about there. And we're going to pull through. So I want to test this before I get all carried away. And when I wear this as well, it's going to stretch a little bit too. So it's going to making sure it's the right height. That. So I think it's good. So what we can just do is just turn it over, and I want to secure it to the hat itself. So I'm just going to turn it, and I'm going to go right back through everything, right to the top of the button again. So don't be cheap about the yarn. And I mean that in a nice way. So I'm going to pull it nice and tight so it kind of sinks down. And then I'm going to secure it to the inside of the hat. I am going to make it a tie. I'm going to do a weaver's knot. Whoops, sorry. You're sitting too close to me today. So I'm just going to tie it again. And then I'm just going to weave in that. This will be behind the strap. Take the other side and do the same thing. And if you're not happy with the way it looks when you put it on, you can always just kind of carefully cut it out, cut it off, and just reposition again. So going back through, right to the button. Back through the button again. And once you're happy with it, just secure it in here with a tie. And this will be the end of today's journey. So a few steps other than just a regular hat, but it's kind of cool. And it's something that we can enjoy on a crochet cruise or any time you're feeling like you're in charge. And of course, this is a kind of like a winter hat kind of idea too. So you can just change out the yarn and have a good time. So I'm gonna try it on and see how it's gonna go. I'm gonna leave you one last tip. I'm going to use a tapestry needle. This fits me just fine, but when it's sitting down like this, it looks like it's drooping. So what I'm going to do, just for staging purposes and also just peace of mind, I'm going to put this through a tapestry needle, and I'm going to just carefully just grab some strands behind. Don't let that needle show to the outside of the work. Like this. Okay. And I'm going to put it through to where it should be sitting onto the hat. See how it's kind of sucking in like that? I just don't want that. So make sure when you position that, and I'm just going to put through both there, through a slightly different spot so it gets stuck. So don't pull it too tight, just enough just to get it to hold. And then on the inside, you can just tie it. And it's just enough to have peace of mind and keep it into position without really anybody noticing it's there. Okay, that's it for today, and we hope that you enjoy.